Hey guys, this is Big Nick and I'm here giving you my Extreme Rules 2017 predictions. As you all know, Extreme Rules is this Sunday. I am filming this as of Wednesday, so if anything happens that is not on the card, because as of now the match card is only about 5 or 6 long. Just let me double check that. Yeah, 6 long. So yeah, I'm just gonna get right into it. Extreme Rules seems like it does have potential to be one of the better pay-per-views, especially after the debacle Backlash was. So first off, we're going to start with a match that I know has yet to be announced, but odds are it's probably going to be on the Extreme Rules, either kickoff or main card, who the hell knows, and that is Goldust versus R-Truth. It's a match that's just going to be a blowaway match. It's not going to be, fans are going to be into it because I've seen some people are liking the Goldust heel turn because this is kind of reminiscent of the old Goldust. So hopefully we'll get to see that again. So yeah, a match I predict it more being on the main show, just due to the fact that it's only a 6-card show. So probably won't get that. We probably get something for the for the kickoff. Probably like a 6-person cruiserweight match, like always. So yeah, the match I predict Goldust winning. R-Truth has been nothing more than a comedy act and really hasn't won anything, even when they did make the Golden Truth. Goldust is Goldust. He's a future Hall of Famer. So yeah. Okay, now we're gonna go right into the supposed main card. So first off, we have is these mixed person tag team match between Sasha Banks and Rich Swann versus Noam Dar and Alicia Fox. It's gonna be a bland match. Probably should be the match to start the night. Don't put it any up at the card. If you do put it up the card, put it up after the candlestick on a pole match or something, just to get these matches out the way. So yeah, this match is just gonna be a bland match. I predict Sasha and Rich Swann winning. Me. Yeah, I predict Sasha and Rich Swann winning. Rich Swann is one of the more over cruiserweights, and Sasha Banks is probably one of the top 4 women on the roster. Okay, so next up we have is the kendo stick on, and again this is in no order because I don't know how they're gonna order it because we never know with them. So next off we have is the kendo stick on a pole match. This match is probably gonna be bad, I think. I mean, it has Bayley and Alexa, 2 of my favorites of the women's division, 2 of everyone's favorites, but it's gonna be bad. This one, I have 2 outcomes for it because either one will work fine. But first one is Alexa retaining, and the second one is Bayley winning, which I think is more leaning toward the proper answer. Is Bayley winning due to the fact that SummerSlam is coming. We know there's supposed to be we know that the wanted feud that they all wanted was Sasha versus Bayley. So odds are they probably have Bayley win this one, have another match with Alexa, probably at Great Balls of Fire. That's when Sasha probably finally turn heel. She'll turn heel like going into it. So yeah, I predict Bayley winning, have one more match with Alexa, and then we'll lead to her feud with Sasha. I mean, I do see Alexa retaining, and maybe Bayley gets one more match, but I have those 2, but I'm leaning more toward Bayley getting the title back. Next up we have is the Cruiserweight title match, and it is a submission match. This could be one of the best matches on the night, maybe one of the best matches of the year, because we know Neville and Aries are great wrestlers, and of course the one thing that they focused the Cruiserweight division on has been submissions, and that looks like they're going to have the Cruiserweight title's going to be in a submission match. It's a good way to exploit the wrestlers, Aries and Neville, and their wrestling abilities, and we do really know in the Cruiserweight division, Neville's a high flyer, but Aries at this point in his career, he's a high flyer, but he's not as much of a high flyer as Neville would be, so it's kind of good that they're having a theme match where Aries doesn't have to put his body on the line. Maybe Neville, when he goes up against more of other high-flying cruiserweights like a Mustafa Ali or someone like that, or a Rich Swann again, it's more high-flying. So I'm gonna go on a gamble here, and I'm predicting Austin Aries winning, just to the fact that they're probably Aries and Neville are the 2 that are being treated as the big names of the Cruiserweight division, the only ones that are being treated properly. At least Noam Dar and Rich Swann on the main card probably, and they have a match on the pay-per-view, so good for them. But Neville and Aries are the only ones being treated like a big deal, like the only relevant ones in the Cruiserweight division. So I predict Aries winning the title, just to continue their feud going on. Maybe Neville wins it back at Great Balls of Fire, or possibly extend the feud into SummerSlam when Neville wins the blow-off. But I predict Austin Aries. I predict a very good match. It's going to be very good to see the wrestling in it. Maybe we get to see those 2 do some epic selling or something like that, like we've seen in NXT and stuff. So maybe, hopefully, and as we all know, Aries is one of the best in the world, and Neville, one of the best in the world as well. So next off we have is the Intercontinental title match, where if Dean Ambrose loses, But if Dean Ambrose gets disqualified, he will lose the Intercontinental title. This is going to be an okay match. Maybe not as good as it could be, but it's probably going to be a good, fun match to watch. Ambrose, I predict retaining, because usually whenever it's only ever happened once, and that was because they were doing the angle when Randy Orton had his anger issues in 2011 with Christian. Miz is going to try to get under Ambrose skin, but we've seen Ambrose be able to control himself. Maybe afterwards he'll beat the living hell out of him, but I see Ambrose retaining. Maybe to eventually lose it to I don't know. Heel-wise, I really don't know. Maybe they have a blowaway feud with, maybe they have a feud with like Joe or someone. Who knows? Okay, next off we have is the Steel Cage Tag Team match. This is a match I can't wait for. I know many people are as well. This could be the best match of the night, because the next match could really be fun. This could be one of the best matches, especially one of the better tag team matches ever, and that is Sheamus and Cesaro challenging the Hardys for the tag team titles in the cage. This match, it's going to be a great, fun match. We're going to get to see Matt and Jeff once again in the cage. I mean, every time they've been in the cage in tag team match has been great. The tag team match they had with the Dudleys in 01, I think it was the Survivor Series. And I believe the one they had with Edge and Christian, I think it was Unforgiven or Fully Loaded 2000. Correct me on that. If it was Unforgiven, it was a great match. So this I can't wait for. This is the one where this one is where I have the two predictions. One, the Hardys retaining, just to continue their little nostalgic run, just for maybe another month, or maybe going into SummerSlam. Or Sheamus and Cesaro winning. And this could be the night where Matt and Jeff, I know the crap online, but it doesn't seem that way. Maybe that's just Impact Wrestling saying all that crap, just to put doubt in our eyes, doubt in our minds, because it could possibly end up turning out that WWE could be using a broken gimmick. And this is the match that leads to Matt and Jeff snapping, or breaking. Breaking and finally turning into a broken Matt Hardy and the nefarious Brother Nero. And maybe have another blowout and then have another match at, goodness gracious, great balls of fire. Only time I ever do that again. It's my only time. But they probably have another, like, extreme style match thanks to the broken brilliance of Matt Hardy. See? It's working there, isn't it? So yeah, I'm leaning more toward the Hardys kind of retaining. Yeah, I'm leaning more toward the Hardys retaining, so I'm going to fully go with the Hardys retaining. But the other one's still a very strong possibility. This happen. I know he wants it to happen. He wants it to happen. Okay, now we're going to go off to the main event, which I'm actually looking forward to this match. I really am. I'm probably one of the few people that is looking forward to it, just because 4 out of the 5 guys in this match I really like. Yeah, I know who I don't like. So yeah, and that is the Fatal 5-Way #1 contendership for the Universal Championship. That is Roman Reigns versus Finn Balor, Seth Rollins, Bray Wyatt, and Joe. As you have seen, they've been building everyone up for the match. Reigns seems to be getting the bigger build. Finn has yet to win a match, building up to this one. So this one I predict to be a very good match. Probably one of the better pay-per-views of the main events of the year, and one of the better matches of the year. Just because of the talent involved, we know it's going to be great. We know it's going to be fun. They're clearly going. This one and the Steel Cage are clearly, and maybe the submission match are going to get the bulk of the time this Sunday. So this one I have 3 predictions, just because I don't have a full out #1 pick winner. First off, I choose it. The first one is Roman Reigns that they're going to go with. That's what I think. First one is Roman Reigns. Next off is Seth Rollins. No, that's not Seth. I'm sorry about that. Is Samoa Joe. Reigns. So yeah, Reigns 1, Joe 2, and the third one is Finn Balor. Okay, now I'm going to give an explanation why I think each one will go. The reason why I don't think Seth and Bray are going to go for it just yet, because Seth Rollins, I don't think they're going to put him back in the Universal title picture just yet. Maybe they're going to use him to fight a blowaway feud with maybe Wyatt or Joe if it doesn't work out that way, or someone screws him over. The reason why I don't think Wyatt is yet, because Wyatt just came over from the Superstar Shakeup. He's been since his return to Raw, looks like he's been kind of being built up again, but it seems as if he has like a minor feud going on with Kurt Angle, so who knows what that. So we'll just see after that works. Okay, so let's go into the reasons why I picked those 3. Roman Reigns, just because it is Roman Reigns and Vince McMahon is in love with him, and it clearly saw it back at the night after Mania. Who did Paul Heyman tease a match with? Roman Reigns, between Brock and Roman. And Roman, out of all of them, is the only one who's had a legitimate case that he almost beat Brock Lesnar, even though he did get his ass taken to Suplex City. bitch. Okay, next is Samoa Joe. The reason why I think Joe, because this is a dream match people kind of want to see. That's pretty much the only reason why. I don't see Joe being put into the Universal title picture yet. Maybe when Lesnar isn't the champion, he'll have matches with probably whoever, if it's Reigns. So I don't see Joe being put in it just yet. Maybe it could be a possibility because it is a dream match, and I mean, hell, we can dream, right? Right? This is WWE, where dreams come true. Sometimes. Well, look at SmackDown's WWE champion. Dreams do come true there. And Finn Balor, of course, because he's the rightful #1 contender. He didn't lose, and he didn't lose the title, and he hasn't won a match in the build-up to Extreme Rules. He lost to Reigns clean. He didn't win the triple threat. He did beat Carl Anderson, but he beat Carl Anderson, and he didn't win the triple threat. It was Joe, and he didn't take the fall. Joe got the fall on Bray Wyatt. Finn Balor hit the coup de grace and got thrown into the ring post. That's kind of a way of saving it. Either that or he's taking the fall Sunday, which, God. So yeah, and maybe this is the way, and everyone clearly wants Finn to be #1 contender. I'm one of them. Probably out of everyone in this match, my favorite wrestler out of everyone in the match is Joe, then Finn, Seth, Wyatt, and then that other fool. But those are the reasons why I picked those three: Samoa Joe, Roman Reigns, and Finn Balor. Reigns because he's Roman Reigns, and that's the match that Vince wants, is Reigns and Lesnar. Joe because it's a dream match, and that's a match people do want to see. And Finn due to the fact that he's the rightful #1 contender. In a way, it's a dream match, and it probably could be at all three of them, it could be the best match possibility for the Great Balls of Fire pay-per-view, and possibly SummerSlam, where Lesnar will probably face the guy that WWE wants him to face, probably Strowman if he's eligible. So yeah. Thank you guys for watching. I will see you guys later for my Extreme Rules review. And don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.